Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
I'm sorry. And that is on record, but I will cut it out.
Oh, you're not going to start the podcast with I'm sorry?
No.
It is International Women's Month, and you are here with two very powerful women. So I feel like a good start to this podcast would be for you to say you're sorry.
Yeah, even if it's just a preemptive one.
Is that how I should wake up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wake up, text me and Mary Jane, I'm so sorry.
And then, wait, is that a get out of jail free card? Or is that if in case I mess up without even knowing I messed up? Or have I messed up and I don't know it? What am I saying sorry for? Because I'm already on my heels.
Welcome to being a woman. Happy Women's History Month.
That's right.
You just accomplished what Mel Gibson had to go through What Women Want.
That was like 30 seconds for that movie?
Yeah, I'm known for my brevity.
Did you see your life flashing before your eyes just now?
Did you see my hands become fists, but not because I wanted to fight, but because I got scared?
I watched your sweat break into a sweat.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could hear the poop coming out of you.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have to do that in heels.
Yeah, and backwards.
I know that. I have heard that saying. To put it out, we recorded about 15 minutes and it was really fun. And one of us wasn't being picked up, and that's my fault. I dropped the ball on that. So let's make it official.
Oh, but the good news is the hammer is back.
The hammer is back.
This is the first Loose Moose that we've done with a third person. Thank you for joining us, Allie Lou.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Normally we just do Loose Mooses where it's just Mike and I hang out and fucking smoke weed and shoot the breeze. But then we were like, we should have Allie for the whole thing, not just as a guest, but as like a friend to hang.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to record with you for 2 hours now?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. You showed up at 5 o'clock, as we said.
Yes.
We have not been able to record because there's a hot water heater being put into my apartment. Got a text from my landlord. Said, hey, 9 a.m. to noon. New hot water heater being put in, aren't going to have hot water. It is now 7 p.m. and they've decided to start using the drill. So, like, what is going on?
Yeah, well, spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning. That's what it is.
But I also feel like that excuse, due to COVID.
Right.
What does that mean?
Dude, it's the get out of jail free card for everyone to do bad service.
That's the I'm sorry for...
Yeah, for
Oh.
sure. Because I do understand that there are going to be some delays due to COVID. But, like, why 18 weeks for a couch?
Wait, you have a couch that took 18 weeks to get to you?
It's still
Is
not
it a baby?
here.
Why are you saying it in the weirdest amount of time?
Where is it? What kind of
18
couch is
weeks.
it?
Just say 4 months.
From Joybirds. That's what the email said. 18 weeks. Due to COVID, orders may be delayed up to 18 weeks.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder where their facility is located.
Across the street.
Like, yeah, truly.
And at this point, I'm just like, yeah, sure.
Due to COVID.
Due to COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not very exciting, but like supply chains for cannabis companies have really like been crazy and fucked a lot of people up with like, you know, they have the weed, they have the product, they can't get the packaging, or
Right.
you know,
It is fucked up.
They have the fucking products, but they can't get it to the places they need to get it to because of a lack of people who are able to deliver it. It's
When
crazy.
fucking all the Trump supporting cannabis people out here, real talk, and we don't have to get too deep into this unless we want to, but I will say when Trump started fucking with tariffs with China, that fucked over so many people in cannabis, and there's still Trump supporters out here. It's maddening.
Who smoke weed?
Who smoke?
Blows my
Yeah.
mind. Also, did you guys see that Trump, it revealed that he had the vaccine in January while he was in office?
Quietly.
Quietly.
That's how it was reported. He and his fucking crazy wife got the vaccine quietly and then left office.
That was the headline?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trump and Melania quietly
Oh,
received COVID-19 vaccines. Wait, what?
I thought it was like douchebag and his crazy wife.
That's the TMZ version.
Yeah.
Orange fascist and total fucking nightmare. Quietly received vaccine.
I would watch that animated short where it starts with the most banal headline that is actually like journalistic integrity of the news, and then it shows every outlet spinning it into how they would say
It's like
it
the
for
New
their
York
fucking
Post.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
cool idea.
That's a great idea.
love that.
Should do a time lapse of just like a day.
If you
of
listen to this,
headlines.
do not write for late night because that is going in all of our late night packets because that is fucking timeless and evergreen and brilliant.
Welcome to Weed and Grub, everybody.
Yeah. Welcome to Weed and Grub. What up, Mary Jane? What up, Ellie Lou?
What up?
up?
How's it going, Mike? How's
Good.
it going, Allie?
Good. How's it going, Mary Jane? How's it going, Mike?
Very, very well. This is a podcast about comedy. Whoop, almost said all of them at once.
Wow. Canna-comic
That would have
culture
been
cooking.
dope. Can you imagine if you had just invented a word that encompassed all of that?
Canna-medialchurisucking.
Kanakama, culture cooka. What? I'm just.
know.
This is bad. Sorry, Allie. Let you down.
I have to hold my boobs.
Why are you holding your
I'm feeling
boobs all-
uncomfortable.
Why?
That's like the Mary Poppins of. That's like the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If we can figure that out.
Canna-comic cooking culture. Cannabis comedy cooking culture, calling shit out, and spring cleaning.
Spring
But I
cleaning.
truly can't remember how many times we've said this now because we've tried to record multiple times.
Yes.
Okay, but we got it.
We're good.
We're good.
If we end up hitting the drill again, we will like maybe pause, maybe not, because I
Maybe
can't keep
murder.
doing this.
We might just inception the shit out of this podcast and
Yeah.
just go 5 levels deep and then come all the way back up.
I love that. I've never seen the movie, but I don't think I'd get it, so I'm not too worried about missing that one.
I don't think I actually made any sense because I have no idea how you would inception a podcast. I guess
I
you
do.
would just go. Well, no, I had an inception dream actually that I talked about recently, where I did like a 4 layers, kept waking up and thinking I was awake, and then I was still sleeping, and I came up through several
shit.
levels. Also, I know nobody wants to hear about my dreams, but can I say that I woke up this morning, had this crazy dream about this really vivid leg tattoo that I woke up thinking I had. That's how vivid it was.
Whoa.
Did you feel the tattoo being administered?
No, I just all of a sudden in my dream had this crazy, very specific leg tattoo, and I woke up thinking I had it, and I texted the friend who in the dream had designed it, and it turns out that that friend had just had an experience that leg tattoo was about. Isn't that nuts?
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like my leg tattoo was about something that had just happened to them, but in my dream, but in their real life. You know what I'm saying?
You inceptioned it. I mean, can't think of a better fucking word.
Did I just inception this
You
podcast?
incepted the podcast. Yeah, for sure.
Somebody is looking at their weed while listening to this, looking in the mirror, looking at their weed, and being like, I mean, I guess.
I guess it works.
Someone's eyes just glaze over and they go get a leg tattoo.
Yo, yeah. That's be so funny.
Send us pics.
Tag at Weed and Grub.
Yep.
Man, I know we were going to talk, we've talked about food. What do we start with? What do you want to start with, Allie?
Let's start with food, right? Like
Yeah.
lead with love.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a Filipino saying?
No, that's a Ali Lou original.
Hell yeah. Okay, so what? Wow. Sorry. I don't know. I took a stab. I don't know anything about Filipino culture, so I thought anything she's saying must be Filipino.
Must be Filipino. It is, I think a lot of what I say is indicative of like being Filipino because like the Filipino language is very severe. Mm-hmm. And like my stand up is pretty direct. Like,
It's Sharp Mountains.
yeah, it's pretty pointed. And that has to do with my language. Like English is my second language. And every time I say that, people are like, nah.
What's the rhythm of or what do you speak?
Tagalog.
Tagalog.
It's very rhythmic and it's very emotional. Like, let's say I had crooked teeth growing up. Well, and crooked in Tagalog is sirang ngipin, which means broken teeth. So any flaw that you have, you know, if you have any mental illness, that's sirang ulo, which means broken head.
It's 10x
Yeah.
the real deal.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. That's like George Carlin fucking level. Fucking major. Yeah.
Soft language.
Ooh.
No, but the opposite.
But the opposite. It's
Yeah.
like daggers.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have to be very careful because that's my go-to. That's like I'm constantly translating in my head still. And like
Jesus.
forming English words in my mouth still, but it's just speed.
Yeah. Oh, is that how languages work when it's a second? I don't speak anything, so when I you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
I can't speak to other English as a second language people, but I did not attend any kind of like class to reinforce English. Like I never learned English. I have the ability to hear and memorize, so I would just memorize English words and then kind of gauge in context when I should pull it out. So that's why we were talking about like the whole spectrum thing earlier. That has a lot to do with it. Like I'm able to kind of speed up and get there just based on feel and remembering.
Wow. I bet you'd make an
Cool.
amazing translator.
Body language has a lot to do with it. Like I've had to like read people and tone and all that stuff. It's kind of It was induced as opposed to learned.
And you have to be one step ahead of them. Like you're sort of watching someone in real time and you know more about them than they are actually thinking that they're showing off, right?
Yeah.
Because, I know, you're so intuitive. It's fucking scary, you know? That
Yeah.
terrifies people.
It is in the wrong hands. That shit is destructive.
Yeah.
So it's like this constant battle of like, you using your superpower for good or evil, right? Like if you are someone who has what some people might consider a limitation, fucking embrace that shit. And that's your superpower. And now you decide what to do with that because you have to be responsible. And some people don't have natural empathy. They can't fucking access that. And so they're like the best agents ever.
Yeah.
Damn. That's real.
Fucking, yeah. Wow. Amazing.
Thanks for being good.
Yeah.
It's
Because I think you could destroy me.
But that's the thing. It's like I don't want to.
That's what I'm saying.
Like who wants to destroy? Oh, some people.
It feels
fucking
great.
Do. Yeah.
It does feel great.
It feels
to like ruin someone's day feels amazing.
But isn't it better when they ruin it for themselves? And
Oh,
you can just
yeah,
like
that
eat
is
truffle
true.
popcorn and be like,
that is true.
I'm gonna hang out with Mike and MJ later.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Let people ruin their own
Yeah.
fucking time. We don't need to be involved in that
That's
nonsense.
kind of what we were talking about with spring cleaning.
Yep.
Is like time creation. And it's like, yo, how do I want to spend it? Because this pandemic has been nothing but time to reflect on time.
Yeah.
And so, what are you writing that down?
I brought my book for you guys to see.
I thought I said something cool, but okay.
What are you writing that down?
Okay, so I use this Enlightenment Planner.
Okay.
Because in your 30s, I guess you buy journals that are $40.
Oh my
That is
god.
a flex.
I bought
That's
I bought like an $80 one that was like spiral bound and huge and heavy, and I didn't use a fucking day of it. It was like a coffee table piece.
Yeah, but it's gorgeous, right?
Yeah, it looked great.
I love like adulthood means buying expensive journals, having fridges with a door on each side,
Yep.
a headboard.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's about it, right?
And like if you have an ottoman, damn.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that would be crazy. I would love to have an ottoman.
Oh, dude, I've seen people who just like forego the coffee table move and just do tray on ottoman.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's so big.
It's huge. That's like my cousins in Tennessee.
And
who
then they
bought a
sit on the
house.
floor, right?
Yeah.
I love
Because they
that.
got kids and they're not allowed to sit on the couch. Why have kids?
Yeah, don't have kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as we're talking about spring cleaning, first of all, my house is filthy, so I really need to make time. I don't know how you guys are handling like general cleanliness.
Badly.
Yeah.
Look at me. Come on.
Have you seen me?
Have you seen me?
I'm so glad nobody can see us.
I do have to shout out my friend Candace Martellaro, who tweeted that she was semi-excited to start wearing hard pants again, parentheses jeans. That's fucking, when she called it hard pants, I was like, yeah, that's what they are.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are hard pants.
Yo.
We have been lounging for a year.
Oh yeah. I threw all my hard pants out. I am exclusively slippers and jammies 100% of the time.
You can pretend like you're in a Nancy Meyers movie. Like
Yeah.
you make croissants with Meryl Streep.
I've made it. I'm like Diane Wiest.
Yeah.
You know, swanning around.
If you put on flowy pants, you automatically get a Lucker set.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I like,
Like
an
a kimono comes on you, like automatically.
I have multiple kimonos. How do you know this? This is I have a lot of kimonos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my house cleaning has not been great because I live with 2 boys and I've just given up.
Yeah.
Like totally given up. But this thing has saved my life. It's the Enlightenment Planner. And at the beginning of the month, you write out your goals.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this mood tracker that you can fill out in your colors. And it shows like pink is very happy, purple is relaxed, orange is not so great, and blue is really, really sad.
Okay.
So we can see that January was like a pretty zen year, and then, pre-period, period, oranges. And it just keeps you accountable, because if you swing hard, you want to be able to like see hard evidence of where you're, what time of the month you're feeling good, what time of the month you're feeling less productive, and you can do things for yourself that are fun instead of focusing on work during those times.
And also break routine during those times, because if you're falling into the same rut around your birthday, say, and your name is Mike, then maybe you should break those routines this year so that you don't track that same mood.
Absolutely. Do the opposite of what you usually do.
Love that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then it breaks down your month, and that's your overall, and it comes with a meditation guide. And this is what you're going to focus on for the month. And then you go into your weekly and you just break everything down, and it reminds you to meditate and hydrate. And you just lay everything out and you can move it. It's not like,
I'm so glad this isn't on your phone too.
Yeah.
You're like using a pen, and
Yep.
it's a nice pen, and it's color coded. You're having fun, Allie.
I'm having a fucking blast. There's no right or wrong way to like manage your time. It's what feels right to you. And if you are beholden to like a planner, it's gonna work against you.
Yeah.
Like, let it work for you.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You might want to write that one down.
Yeah. Well, radical concept though.
Luckily, it's on the podcast.
Timestamp.
But you guys get it. Like, you guys manage a billion different things plus your personal lives. Like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to clean out, I think I said this, did I say this already on here? I'm not sure. Clean out the corners in order to be able to grow in a less cluttered way, because I have a lot that I'm trying to let go of right now.
Yeah.
Like huge, big, old, heavy shit. And I went to this chiropractor last week, who does an entire sort of assortment of like Western and Eastern treatments. And some of it was energy work. And she did all this stuff where she was like cutting cords and putting healing energy into my heart and letting my liver sort of like breathe and all this sort of stuff. And she was like, it's very heavy. Your load is very heavy. We need to let some of this go. And after that session, I felt totally at peace and in kind of a new restored way. And so I'm trying to move forward with that energy. And I'm going back to her, you know, like I'm going to set this up for myself, because it felt so good to sort of just like drop some of that stuff that is sort of, you know, spiritually and emotionally and mentally taxing.
Can we talk about your neck pop?
Yes.
If we're going to talk about cleaning out the corners.
Yeah.
Yo.
You mean my reaction when she did it?
And the girth of the pop.
Girthy pop.
It was okay. So Dr. Emmy is an amazing chiropractor. Our friend Natalie sent me to her. She swears by her, and I wasn't sure what to expect, but she was like this. She just changed my fucking world. And it was my first adjustment, my first time ever going to a chiropractor, and she was cracking up. She was like, you know, what did you expect? Like, she couldn't believe that I'd never been adjusted. And every time she adjusted me, I would like burst out laughing because it was so crazy. And then she did this thing where she turned my head and she was like, do you feel nauseous? And I was like, nope. And she was like, okay, do you feel disoriented? And I was like, nope. And she was like, okay, I'm going to adjust you. And she did the fucking crack. And she did warn me that it was going to be very loud, but it was so loud. Like, it was like someone banging a sheet pan in my ear. I was like, yo!
Oh my, that sounds fucking awesome.
Right?
I watch these videos on the internet. I put it out to the universe. I will get on a casting couch for a back cracking video.
That's
Yeah.
good porn.
Yeah.
Crack porn?
Yeah.
She cracked my toes.
Yeah.
She adjusted my knees.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was hot.
that is. That is really hot.
Yep.
Like, is this OnlyFans or is this going to be like on YouPorn? Because I think that monetize
it. Oh,
hot
absolutely.
naked people being adjusted.
I mean, they're basically
God.
those videos. They're just wearing like Lululemon leggings, but I've seen some pretty jiggly videos.
Are you into the pimple popping situation?
I really like blackheads.
I've seen some good
What's
ones
the
come out.
difference?
Blackheads, you see that sometimes it's ingrown hairs.
Yeah. The extraction's
Those are
wild.
dope.
Yep. I used to go down massive
Yeah.
rabbit holes with extractions. Yeah. Not so much anymore because now I'm a little grossed out. I think I saw one too many. Like,
Yeah, I don't like when if blood follows. I'm not
yeah.
into that.
If it's like a pustule, not so much. But blackheads, very satisfying.
Really?
It's like a weird underground sort of like creature emerging. Yeah.
I'm high and I had therapy today, so I apologize in advance.
Double whammy.
Double whammy. But you're making me think, because this is a spring cleaning episode and you got cosmically, bonally, and like muscly adjusted
And spiritually, yeah.
adjusted, that you also like these extraction videos because there's some kind of like letting go for you, and you're like
Purging.
manifesting, and like, what's it called when you put something on some other shit?
Projecting.
Projecting. You're like watching blackhead videos to project on them.
Yeah.
Because it's like a purging of unclean and like not good. I agree. I also think there's something to like you're getting adjusted. You're getting like someone is touching you physically to like remove this thing, and also how lightening it is to just have it acknowledged, for someone to be like, you're carrying this load, I see you, breathe in, pressure, fuck.
Fucking A. And can I tell you, like, this is real shit. I was telling her about someone who is a difficult person in my life who recently passed. And she did this healing work where she put a lot of healing into my heart. And then she had me do this deep breathe. And she was like, just go with this. She said, do a deep breath in and then say, give me back my power, and breathe out. And I was like, that is so fucking woo-woo. That's so fucking, something that I would never do. But I just was under her care, and I could already tell that I could trust her. And so I did it, and I said it, and I breathed out, and then she had me do it a few more times. And it was like massive release. Of course, along with it comes a lot of emotion. And like, I cried into my little face rest. And,
Nice.
and then she flipped me over, went to town with me, a deep tissue massager on my fucking body. And it was just, but that moment of like, speaking it aloud and then having someone like actually put energy into you as you do it, it was like truly kind of a big deal.
Well, letting go is such a fucking easy answer to things that no one tells you how to do it. Like, just let go of your anger. Just let go of your resentment. Let go of your jealousy. How? I can only let go if I'm physically holding on to something.
Yeah.
Like, how do I let go?
Because especially when you think you let go, but actually it's just been stored somewhere.
Yeah.
And you don't even know that it's being, like, that attic is getting full.
Yeah. Well, I have great friends who point out to me when I'm mentioning a name a lot with negative attachment. They'll be like, okay, Allie, you have mentioned so-and-so like 4 times in the last few conversations that we've had. Like, are you going to deal with it, or you just want to complain about them for the rest of your life?
Damn,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Put up or shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what my mom always says, put up or shut up.
Wow.
And that's when I was just like, oh yeah, I just gotta walk away from this situation. I just have to not be around this person because they probably don't even know what they're doing because they're so self-involved. Nothing is ever against me, right? Like, that's one of the attachments. Like, nothing is personal, even when it feels like sometimes it's very personal, like being left uncredited feels very personal.
Absolutely.
That had nothing to do with me and everything to do with the other person.
Yep, absolutely. I remember the one time I was uncredited for something that I had created that then was released on someone else's like album, for lack of a better term. And I, like, when I confronted them about it, they were shocked that I was mad.
Yeah.
Like, they just never thought of it.
Did they pretend to be shocked, or were they really shocked?
I think he pretended to be shocked.
Yeah.
It was a big surprise, though, that I was like, absolutely.
He didn't
I'm not
expect
gonna-
you to have the courage to stand up for
He didn't
yourself.
expect me to
Yeah.
say anything because it was sort of like, me being included in the first place, yada, 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 right?
You should be
grateful.
thankful. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Toxic gratitude is real, yo.
Toxic
What
gratitude.
is that word combo?
It's probably,
Come on.
I don't know. It's got to be. It
Allie,
sounds right.
Get the pen.
It
Yeah,
fucking
write that
sounds
shit
right.
down.
Yeah, because it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, you have a hard person in your life, and there's a point where you either have to have the conversation or you don't. Right? Like, you can either have the conversation. It was in this case with the person that I'm dealing with. I just know that regardless of what I say, they're not going to change because this is an established pattern of behavior. And I am not the exception. I'm just going to go ahead and default to thinking I'm the rule and move on with my life. And it has nothing to do with the course that they are on anymore. And that's all with love. No,
Thank God.
no resentment. Just you do your thing, because now I have cut that cord. That's reclaiming power. Is kind of like reclaiming time.
Yeah.
Like, time is so valuable, especially right now where it's like, why in the pandemic does it feel like it's gone by so slow and yet so fast? Like, you blink your eyes and it's a year now.
Yeah.
But we've been like slugging through this whole year, just trying to like get on the other side.
Yep.
But we keep getting on the other side of it. It just keeps growing. You know
Damn.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you guys are moving constantly, even if it doesn't feel like it, because look where we are.
Yeah.
You've become merciless this past pandemic.
Yeah.
This past pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm too old, brown, and fat for this. I need to work now. Now.
Yo.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I removed all the hurtful attachment to what those things are, and that's facts, and that is my greatest motivator.
Aren't you scared that they're going to make it and then talk shit about you and ruin your career from the other side?
What can they say? That I'm a really hard worker and I demand clear and concise communication? Damn, she sucks.
Wow. What a
What a
bitch.
bitch. Oh, she struggles with time management and is asking for help?
Yeah. Wow.
That's the worst you can say. You can not like my attitude, you can not like my directness, but the work speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
Damn. That's pretty real. Because it's hard to think that way.
It is so hard to think that way, and very few people do.
It's hard. It's very hard to let go of wanting to be liked. I mean, we've talked about this on here with a few folks, and like that is such a motivator for, I think, so many of us.
It's why I'm here.
Right. In the beginning,
100%.
That's why you were here, but that's not why you're here anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, that's a good put on blast, Mary Jane. Where's the horn? Because you put it on me. Yeah, Mary Jane's blast. Yeah.
Now you're here because you like learning about women.
I mean, okay, think about it, yo. Did we move to Los Angeles to be townies?
I moved here to see how far I
Nice.
could go with my dreams.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And what I struggled with in the pandemic was I am working tirelessly to pursue a dream while there are people sleeping on the street.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And so I had to really break it all down. And why am I doing this? Is it to see my face everywhere? Is it to have my name in people's mouth? No, it's to get in and change everything I hate about it. Mm-hmm. It is to change, to put myself in a position where I could have asked CBS why they let cops park in their parking lot while the protests were happening.
Yeah.
On my vision board right there, the word next to the Louis Vuitton coat, access
Yeah.
is like what this year is about for me.
Yeah.
Is like simplifying my goals so that I can crush them and be really proud of them, which will hopefully earn me more access to make a bigger, better, more positive impact on the world. Instead of trying to do 900 things at once, hoping one of them pops off, I'm just going to lean in hard on the things I care most about to get more access, to have more power, to do better things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make life better.
Make life better for
All
me
around.
and everyone I love. Yeah.
And for me, it's like my biggest thing to let go of is I was so mad at myself. I've been so mad at myself for 5 years for only knowing that comedy was my dream for 5 years. Isn't that like fucked up to like beat yourself up for not knowing how to dream?
Whoa.
I mean, that's ridiculously hard on yourself.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
And so I was like, I have to let that go because if I had...
I'm sorry, but I'm watching your brain put a fitted sheet on the bed and it keeps springing off the thing. Like it's trying to figure out comedy and the fitted sheet almost goes on and your brain just like springs it back. Yeah.
Yeah, because so much of like what I love about comedy is the come up. Like comedy is a fucking entry level position that you can make an executive position at the same time doing the same job.
Ooh, cool. I love how you say that.
Say more. Say more. Say more.
You can be an open micer and you can be Kevin Hart in the same room on the same mic with the same amount of time, and you can either be an open micer forever or you can take the steps to be a Kevin Hart. Or whatever.
Because the time is the same.
The time is the same.
Right.
You have that much amount of time to do the same amount of work. And the barrier to entry to comedy is just go to an open mic and you have 2 to 5 minutes, right? Typically, anyone can do it. Anyone can get up who wants to do it and do it. It's not the same for like sketch unless you can afford a sketch writing class. It's not the same for acting unless you have a fucking job that will let you leave in the middle of the day, maybe sometimes 3 times a day to go out on audition.
Or you're just born rich.
Or you're born rich.
So many of them are just born rich.
Yeah, exactly.
It's shocking when you look at Hollywood and you're like, oh, wait, you were all born rich? Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
You mean Army Hammer didn't come from nothing?
Are you saying that
Anyway.
acting is easy?
No,
No,
not
acting
at all.
is extremely hard, and it's also a craft and a technique that you have to go to school for in order to be good.
But being rich
in
helps
my
you learn
theater
that
school
craft.
opinion.
Because it gives
But
you
yeah.
time, because time is money. And isn't that so much about what the spring cleaning episode is about? Is like
Time, yeah.
reclaiming your time and getting the most use of your time. I'm only doing things for free with friends from now on.
Nice.
Because the work is thankless and tireless, and at the end of the day, at least we know we all like each other.
Yeah, I mean, we can get together and smoke weed and like do bits while there's drilling and hammering in the background for 2 hours, and it's fun. Like it's not
so
like,
fun.
oh fuck, we can't get to recording this goddamn podcast. I would be so mad if I weren't with friends.
Yeah, and if
on a 2-hour delay, but we're just like high and hanging.
Exactly. And like this time, I'm going to leave here rejuvenated because of your energy and this exchange, instead of being tired that I had to talk for like 5 hours collectively.
I feel that.
You know?
Totally, which we've done at this point.
Yeah.
We've had 200 false starts because of that.
We are coming into hour 5.
This actually ties kind of into our news story this week and
Oh.
how to reclaim your time and what to do with your time to make yourself happy.
Dope.
Yeah, so let's get to the news,
Yes.
Allie Lou.
The Grub Gazette.
Presented by this week, Twitter.
Oh, dang, you guys got Twitter?
Yeah.
Making moves.
I paid $400 for a super follow to get
Nice.
news this week.
What's the news coming from Twitter?
Seth Rogen, baby. You know what it
Yeah.
is. Come on.
That's right.
Seth Rogen.
Seth
Seth Rogen tweeted out, almost 10 years ago, I envisioned having my own weed company. And today I can say that my company, Houseplants Weed, will be available in California next week. Also, Houseplant is making lovely house goods like ashtrays, lighters, and yes, even ceramics. Check them out, houseplant.com. This is not an ad. We are not being paid for this. This is just dope fucking news from a dope dude who took 10 years to do something he's proud of.
To do it right.
And Houseplant has been available in Canada for a while, I believe. And now
Really?
it's coming to California. I think it's starting out in LA and then going to be available in California dispensaries fairly soon. So he's like had time to work on it. And I know that he has 3 strains. There's one called Pancake Ice that he tweeted about.
There's a video on here of him squeezing it and showing it stick to his finger because it's so sticky and fucking trichomy.
It's
fucking
33% THC levels. It's a sativa dominant. And
That's like somebody's hockey number. That's a great number.
Yeah. And then his other strains are called Diablo Wind and Pink Mom, I think.
Yo,
I
dude.
love it. Sounds great.
Thank
That's
God.
awesome.
Yeah, fucking exciting.
Isn't that so funny how like back in the days, like celebrity drug dealers were like Escobar, and now it's like Seth Rogen.
It's great,
it's
right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
This is fucking cool. And this is a dude who like loves what he does.
Loves
Yeah.
weed.
Loves weed.
As always.
And like talk about productive. Like weed smoker.
Yep.
Like champion weed smoker does everything.
Yep. And has always repped fucking weed hard. Like he's been, so open about his fucking weed use and has never never become the sort of stereotyped, stoner. He's always been like that funny fucking guy first who loves weed and everyone knows about both.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. It's the best combination.
It's
And-
elevated.
Yeah.
It is elevated because on that tip, somebody tried to come for him so that they could have a hot Twitter take that would maybe make them go viral. And what they said is like, cool, Seth Rogen, how about the 40,000 people who are still in prison, da-da-da, and like called out all of the atrocities and terrible, harrowing things that are still happening in this country. And somebody else just screenshot all of his activism work from like Expungement Day, donating money, and just said, here you go. Let's put this part of that conversation to bed and put him on blast for it.
Yeah.
Because the dude is real and he puts his money where his mouth is because time is money.
Absolutely. He's like the way Jon Stewart does all his activism. Like he's boots on the ground. Seth Rogen does the same thing. He's constantly spreading awareness.
He called out Israel and Ted Cruz, and I think in the same month and a half. Like the dude is like, he's touched in.
And also he's a human being.
Yeah.
What's he going to do about it?
Yeah. Nice guy from Vancouver who I believe, if memory serves me correctly, that his voice is what you hear on the Vancouver public transit system.
That's amazing.
Oh, is it just...
No, I think he did the like, welcome to Vancouver, that
that's
whole like when you get on
amazing.
the bus at the airport.
Well,
I
he's
think.
also the epitome of like do shit you love with friends.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. That's how he came up.
You're going to make the best shit with your friends.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you can communicate with your friends in a way that you can't with people who you're like assigned to, because that's what so much of like sketch comedy, for example, you go through these classes and then you get paired with people and that's your team.
Right.
And you have to fabricate and there's like this synthetic chemistry.
Right.
Because you're not friends. And hopefully the goal is you'll become friends and then you move on together, or you find your people and you create your own thing. But at the nucleus of it, it's friends. Adam Sandler does it with his friends. Seth Rogen and James Franco do it with their friends.
Yep.
I
fucking loved that whole vibe when, was it in 40-Year-Old Virgin where they're just smashing fluorescent light bulbs on each other at the loading docks? You're like, they're just friends. That's clearly just a bunch of people who love hanging. Like, it's fucking great.
Yeah, and you can't write and make a movie called Zack and Miri Make a Porno with anyone but your friends.
Yep.
And still have like the heart shine through in it.
Have you had more time for friendship or less? I mean, the pandemic aside, because this whole thing is like, what's the word, an asterisk?
Asterisk.
An asterisk of pandemic over all of this.
Right.
But do you have better friendships now because you're cutting other shit out of your life?
I think I am just realizing I've always had good people at the nucleus of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I moved out here because I was, again, invited to move to LA to work for Fox, and I always kept home with me. Like my roommate Joey, I've known him since I was 15, and we lived in Anchorage together, and we did community theater together. And I told him, save your money for 6 months and then come live with me, work, and then you can start paying rent when you make money.
You're a real friend. That's
He's
real
so
as fuck.
fucking talented. What was he gonna do? Fucking get freezer burn? Like,
Everyone follow at Joe
Joe
Ryan
Ryan
on fucking Instagram. His art is mind-blowing.
Yes, it is.
He's so good. Like, he has emotion in every fucking drawing.
and you know how voice
Beautiful.
artists, like voiceover artists, can like mimic voices? He can do that with drawing. So I could be like, make Mike like he's in The Simpsons, and he'll just draw that.
Really?
Yeah.
So talented.
Anything from fine art to cartoons.
Wow.
And I was like, that can't just be in Anchorage.
Yeah. Bring it with you. Yeah.
Bring it with me. And my girlfriend, I've had the same two best friends for 21 years. Those are my girlfriends. That's why I don't tolerate the way that some girl friendships out here operate. Very transactional, very surface, because I know better. And that makes it difficult to work sometimes because I won't like hang out after or whatever. But no one is entitled to my time or my affection.
Yeah. Wow. That's huge.
You can be civil and you can be friendly and good to work with, but like I have very close friends that I can't mix worlds because I'm doing a million things.
Am I one of them?
You are one of them.
I knew you were going to ask.
Both of you are one of them.
I was like counting it down in my head. I was like,
when can I get my word in about whether or not I'm your friend?
It's literally, I think about it this way.
Am I your friend? Am I your friend? Am I your friend?
I think about it this way. If we had met at a bar, which we did, we all met at a bar.
In Alaska.
Under the comedy context, but like we just met at a bar.
Yep.
And I fucking love you guys.
We wept and held each other.
The first day we met. Like on this day came up, like in memories, and Boldev was like, what is this picture of you and Mary Jane crying? I was like, that's the first day we hung out.
No, it's not. Is that real?
Because we were so moved by Jose that we both were just bawling, and we looked at each other, and I was just like, this beautiful person is now in my life forever.
Yeah. We watched our friend Jose perform.
Yeah.
And then he was so beautiful and fucking courageous and gorgeous. And yeah, we both burst into tears and clutched at each other like fucking his, proud family members. We were like, he was like, okay, thank you guys.
yeah, wow, bonded forever.
Yeah. And I knew Jose from New York and you knew him from Alaska. And so it was this really weird moment to like end up in this fucking bar where he was performing and crying with a new friend.
Yeah.
Is that what it takes?
That's when you know it's real.
Yeah.
It's like when you're just like baseline humor, like where you are. Like that was who I was to the core. Like when you're ugly crying, there's no hiding.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yes, my friend.
Let's cry and hold each other's boobs. That's when you know it's real.
Wait, but it's not sexual?
No, it's just comforting. It's
Yeah.
nice.
A front hug?
I can hold my boobs or I can hold someone else's boobs. And
I hold my neck a lot,
You're like,
and
I
you
also
hold your
like to
boobs
get
a lot.
Yeah, I do hold my boobs a lot.
Do you like to get choked out?
I used to love it. Like when it was an elementary school thing.
Early, Mike.
Early. I was early. That is also another story for another
so
time.
Advanced. Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Can I say I just wanted to go back to like what brought you to LA because I wanted to get my fucking 2 cents in about why I came and because it does fit in that I came here with no clear plan because I was running. Yeah. And so it was interesting to arrive in LA and luckily I had my work in, I was working in weed already and that was fucking awesome to like show up in this beautiful fucking paradise of legal weed, but then also be like, my acting life, my life as an artist and as a performer can also be here and flourish here. And then to meet you guys and understand that I can sort of dovetail the two, which I think we do here on this podcast and with, like what we're doing at South by Southwest and talking about like art and entertainment and weed and performance and creativity. So I was just excited for that to happen and meet my people like you and then also let the other shit go, the shit that doesn't work, the shit that hurts you, the shit that I was running from and some people of that time that I also can let go now. Who, at one time were very important to me and it's okay that we're not close anymore.
And no one tells you that it doesn't have to be this like ceremonial thing.
Yeah.
Like you think that closure has to be like this, bow that ties everything together. It's not. It's literally just like you taking a second to be like for example, packet opportunities, Mike, like with
sauce, salt,
right?
Pepper, hot,
mayo, like writing packets, for example. I have gotten by on the good graces of people who have like referred me, right? Mm-hmm. Because I still have this hang up of like, I need to be invited. Mm-hmm. I can't just walk through the door. I don't have space. I've started so late, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Now I have turned all of that into just gratitude in a healthy way, not like I have to wait for the next one. I can just quietly apply. I don't have to be invited anymore. Like I have the information, I have the resources. You don't have to be, I'm not a fucking vampire. Like I don't have to be invited in. You can just claim your opportunities because they're there for you. But to come back to access that you were talking about, the barrier to entry to our field is like non-existent. You have to be in this like club to like know what school to go to, what mics to hang out.
Yes,
Have
but
you
yes,
found that
but
yes,
no.
but?
I'm gonna yes, but you.
That's like a new improv school of thought.
Yeah.
Yes, but
it's the school of authenticity and being honest instead of playing along.
Oh.
Because I think that you nobody can teach you approach. An approach, I think, is equally as important as knowing the who, what, where, why, when, how. Because once you can figure that out, it's how you approach those people and those opportunities and those things. And that sometimes the more calculated, the better, sometimes not. But like
Right.
the approach, I think, is really important. And I think a lot of people fuck it up pretty quickly. And so, I agree with everything you're saying, but I would also argue that like being chill, cool, nice, and having fun and doing a good bit is equally as important as what school you went to.
I agree. I totally agree with that because I didn't go to any school. I've gotten by.
And you just did NDA. So, yeah.
I think that we are all really either using this time in the pandemic to clean house spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and also see how that's going to help our career goals.
Yeah.
Like, because if it's all one, right? Like, take singing, for example. I started singing lessons again because I've been, like, trying to vocally rehabilitate for so long. I was a competitive opera singer. And when I found comedy, I virtually...
Wait, is it a bunch of glasses on podiums next to, like, six people?
It changes girth of glass. So you start with, like, a flute, and then you graduate to, like, a goblet.
Yes,
and
of course.
Then a beer sign. If you
Punch
can-
bowl
yeah,
finale.
Yeah, if you can get to the fountain, you're fucking...
Can you shatter this ice sculpture?
Oh man, you're at the Worlds and these chandeliers are lowered and they're very beautiful, but they're looking to be destroyed.
They bring you into like fucking dynamite the Trump building.
What an awesome prize.
Yeah, we didn't place charges. We just brought Allie Lou. Do your thing.
But after like processing all this like through narrative therapy, like you have to go through like your childhood and like your come up and all that stuff. I was doing that at like 6 and 7, which is basically robbing you of childhood.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you're training right away. And we would do these horrifying things called passing, where the director would take one of each voice part, there are usually 4, one of each voice part to sing through your entire catalog. And if you make a certain amount of mistakes, you don't get to be in the concert.
Ooh.
So I was literally taught that if you
That's
are
real.
not good enough to do it, you are not allowed to do it. Entering a world of comedy, that's no longer the case. So I had to shed all my hangups of like, well, what are you doing? You're wasting time. And that devalues other people's experience and their growth. So separate yourself from all that. I don't need to fucking have an opinion about what you're doing. As long as I'm leading with like authenticity and kindness, I'm gonna be fine.
Yo.
Your attitude is gratitude. Has anyone ever said that before?
I haven't heard
No.
that.
Okay.
No.
TM.
Huh. Did you come up with that?
Definitely not.
Mary Jane, is that a...
I think I read it on the NCAP magazine at Whole Foods last night. So
I applied, I think, for that position. And I didn't
it
get
was
hired.
like scared is what you are, brave is what you're doing. You know.
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yo, the outside of women's magazines is a clusterfuck of hell. It is insane.
Yeah, welcome to being a woman where they
Yeah.
like nag you to sell you shit 100% of the time.
Man, every word is like in pink and it says bad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you are not good enough.
Yeah.
Buy
Here's how
this
to
and you'll be
fix
better.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat and lonely? Buy this magazine. You'll
Yeah.
be better.
This bodysuit will trick men into thinking you don't have a gunt.
Yeah.
I hate the word fupa, so I've coined gunt.
I
I'm
like that there's going to be
all about it.
like you're coming for Spanx with like Gunt as like your brand that's going to be
Yeah.
a $1 billion company. I fucking love that idea.
Well, I saw this horrific TikTok where a girl put a piece of cardboard in the front of her jeans to hide her gunt.
Yo, really?
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
It's
How
so
does she
messed
sit
up.
down?
She doesn't. She just twerks. So she's already in position. She just leans into it.
How does she sit down has been a question for women for fucking centuries. Like there were corsets, there have been fucking Spanx and girdles and crazy contraptions
Yeah.
of all kinds that make it difficult to sit.
Well, and then like on the Filipino side of it, my aunts, because the Philippines is so heavily influenced by like Japanese, Korean, and Chinese culture, the lighter your skin is, the more beautiful you are considered. So they would literally send me boxes of skin lightening lotion when I was like 9.
No way.
And it burned my skin. And so my skin was so much worse. For like 10 years, I had new skin because it was chemically burned from these products that I'm allergic to. And so my skin got worse and worse and worse. And only recently, in the last like 5 or so years, have I like reclaimed my skin. Literally. And when I would go to the Philippines, they would pick me up in a separate car to drive me straight to the salon because I had curly hair, and they didn't want to look at me until I got my hair chemically straightened. And so it destroyed my hair for like 10 years.
Wow. That's so intense.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And by doing that, your insides are fixed?
Apparently.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if that's your outside, then we good because we don't, because it's about them,
It's
right?
about them, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You are representing us. So that's what I cleaned house. I don't talk to my aunts. Because I was like, until you can tell me this was wrong, we have no business speaking.
What would happen to them if you looked like that? Is it like the dudes who would be like, who's this curly haired, darker skin?
Yeah, because it's all about
Filipino?
like marriage, right? Like
Yeah.
the daughters are presented to everyone, so they know once you're there, you're available.
Oh.
Because it's still like a decision made between families. So it's like business families will get together. One will have a son. It'll be me. We'll meet every time I'm in the Philippines, hopefully grow a bond, write letters, connect, and that's who I'll marry. Yeah, fucking right. No possible way on earth.
What if he's a prince?
I mean, does he make me laugh?
Funny princes?
Funny
Nah.
princes?
I don't
I've
know.
never met a funny prince.
I don't think that's a thing.
It's so crazy to me too, because then you
Even
come to,
Aladdin was like not the. He
Yo.
He was not that cool.
He was not that cool.
No, the monkey was funny.
Monkey killed.
Yeah, and the rug, and Robin Williams.
yeah.
He was pretty funny.
But something my therapist told me, which I think is amazing, is because I have mad anxiety, like just not even cute, like the worst anxiety ever. And I've been taking Xanax since I was like 11.
Is anxiety?
Yeah. And I'm Xanax free for about 6 years now because I've just been smoking weed. My fear of abandonment is that feeling of like a rug being pulled out from under you. And so my go-to move is to nail the fucking rug down so I know that it's there. And then my therapist said, but what if it's a magic carpet? What have you just done?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow,
What's
I
their
like
number and name?
Yeah, I like your therapist.
Yeah.
Meaning embrace what scares you and face it head on. What does that mean? Because I like her saying it sounds fancy, but I'm not sure I get it.
For me, it's my relationship, right? Because I've had like terrible experiences with men. I'm traumatized by men. And Baldev, my boyfriend, has now inherited a lot of that projection that I have. So there's like a lot of anxiety around that. And I want to just know what the plan is at all times. Like, don't surprise me. I just want to feel secure. And he's like, but what if I wanted to like take us on a trip? Or what if I wanted to, do this and this and this? And I was like, oh, he's the magic carpet. And I am nailing him to the ground
Whoa.
with my anxiety.
You're a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus.
So you like to stand in the field, firmly planted, grazing, and watching things around you
and
move
he
while
is
you
a
are planted.
Pisces.
Oh, wow.
And he loves the band Phish.
Yes. So
he
he
does.
likes to noodle with rainbows.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's a rainbow noodler.
He's a rainbow noodler, and like, how lucky am I? I get to trust him and experience this magic, but then come back to my field.
Wow.
Yeah, I get to just ride the carpet, and he is strong enough to hold a buffalo.
This is great. I like these metaphors. These are very good metaphors.
He do smoke a lot too.
You do.
Yeah.
He opened my eyes. He changed my life about like joyful drug use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's real.
It's important.
beautiful.
Yeah. Or it can be important. I mean,
Yeah.
for lots of people, it's the fun of drug use is not what's important, and it's the medicine. But for me, the joyful aspects of, all of the substances that I've, heard music better with, or, run around with Mike with, Life is Beautiful, like all that kind of stuff is like changed me for the better through that time spent, and then also afterwards.
Because you are who you are when you're on drugs, right? Like for me, I totally believe that you are exactly who you are when you're on drugs if there's good energy around you. And like I've never been into Phish. I didn't know what they were at all. And from what I've heard before, it was like really loud kind of industrial noise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. But then I came in with an open mind and open heart, and I went to a show with him, and it was the most goddamn beautiful thing I've ever experienced in my life. It was a sea of people who were all just there enjoying something they loved. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how can you hate this?
Yeah.
This is fucking amazing.
All those rainbow noodles all together.
But as like, again, with a background in like classical music, I hear everything, like I see the music written out, and I'm like, this is virtuoso musicians.
Yeah. That's such a huge part of it. I think that I always used to make fun of, but when you realize it's like they're fucking like, virtuosic.
Compositional and improvisational, like.
And I think that's why so much of it is making its way into hip hop now.
Yes.
Like all of that fucking scene, the psychedelic fucking movement making its way into like this new nerd hip hop that's happening.
Oh,
with
it's
these
so good.
Brilliant,
It's so good.
deep feeling, fucking brilliant hip hop artists incorporating that like joyful noodle in a very new and cool way. It's fucking great.
And again, another great example of doing shit with friends and like the trust that goes into like musical improv.
Yeah, I wish like that is one of the things that I wish I had more friends in is in music, because I want nothing more than to sit in the studio and just like do bits and run it hot until something clicks and dig. Like that's what I live for.
Yeah. It's music and comedy are soulmates.
Yeah.
Totally. This, you know what's great about this conversation? And I was thinking about it as you were talking, Mary Jane, but I was still listening.
Happy International Women's Month.
Good man point.
Good
man
job.
point.
Nice. Nice.
We won't make you eat this real small green guy.
Those things look so tart.
It's
that
so
tiny
tart.
ass lime.
I ate one earlier and it was like a fucking dragon riding around in my mouth, shooting jets of fucking sour squirts. It was crazy.
That would be like a fucking BDSM tool for sure. Yeah.
What is this?
That's the calamansi. That's the Filipino citrus that is very tiny but very, very packed with flavor.
Yes.
I don't know if Filipino food has similarities to Thai or anything like that, but like a squeeze of this on some noodles would rocket my tongue to Mars.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's this Filipino ramen, like equivalent to ramen, called pancit canton, which is essentially street noodles. And they have that in like a packet.
In a packet?
Calamansi packet to add to the packet list.
Calamansi.
You mix it with soy sauce and a little bit of oil, and it's just pan fried noodles.
Hand me another one. I want to eat a big fat
you
boy.
got it.
Wait, what were you thinking while I was talking that almost got you in trouble, but not because you said you were listening?
Oh, yes. That time wasn't. One to one. One win, one loss. How much fun, like how weed and hanging around your friends and everything is fun. And I was just thinking like all of us having a joyful time here and how weed can be fun and weed can be cool. And I just miss that so much right now. And then I started thinking about Seth Rogen. I saw your
I just dropped
orange
a
drop
calamansi
on the floor. Calamansi on the floor. That was real funny. She looked up with big eyes like everyone heard it. They all saw it. I'm going to pretend it didn't happen. That was mad funny, Mary Jane. Reclaim your
I'm
time.
putting it in my mouth. It's got hair on
better?
it. It's got hair on it.
Yeah.
It's a hairy calamansi. Okay, it was great. It was great. Carry on.
Is it better than the last one?
I know your face does look like a belly button.
It's not a solo fruit.
I'm holding my knees.
It's so tart. It's delicious, but
intense.
goddamn.
Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you with your thoughts.
It's been a 10-minute get to the point, Glazer. So let's call it out.
Should we get there?
Should we get to the fucking point one day? Fucking page 10. I'm still doing it.
You diverted your diversion.
I'm just so happy that weed can be fun, and I look at Seth Rogen and what we're doing, and it's just fun to talk and be real with both of you right now, but also be pretty high and have a really good time.
Yes.
And I feel like weed needs this now more than ever.
Now more than ever.
These times.
In these unprecedented times, we need weed now more than ever.
Yep. We take fun seriously. TM. I mean, I think that's true. That's just true of every single person that I admire, is that they have a great time and they do it so seriously. Both of you, Seth fucking Rogen, other people that I love like Reggie Watts, you know, it's like they have a great time and then that's their output and they do it so seriously. It's wonderful.
You need to, like, I remember I was working with a person who, because I'm a spreadsheet person. I have to, otherwise it's fucking chaos in here. I need to like physically see where we're going. And I will put all the work on me to format it because I need to learn how to format shit. So I will take those extra steps. I just need you to fill out the box. It's very clear. Just fill out the box. If you have any questions, please.
Go ahead, hit it.
What happens if I don't fill it out?
I'll ask, hey, do you need me to fill it out for you? Or what can I do? Like,
So scared.
because here's my thing. I'm allowed to ask that, and you're allowed to say this doesn't work for me. So then I will say, what will work for you?
Ooh, I'm really scared now.
And it's with all love because we're working together. And my mistake is I assume that that's how everyone operates. I assume that because we're on a team, this is how we're all open and it's all with love, and I can say difficult things and you can counter with difficult things, then it's all good because we love and respect each other. That's not true of people that you may be assigned to.
Do you think that's how capitalism operates, or do you think it actually operates more like we're doing right now by being honest, but looking each other in the eye while being honest and saying what we think is true? Because...
You think capitalism operates with a bunch of people being real with each other?
I think at the highest levels,
yes.
I kind of wonder how much of it is like, I'm going to put my cards on the table, you're going to put yours on the table, and we'll find, I'll take an L, you'll take an L, I'll take a W, you'll take a W.
Well, the people at the very top aren't responsible for anything. They have people to work for them. That's why they succeed. They get to say all the things they really want to say. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. What's the bottom line? To the person they've hired to make it look pretty for them. So
Interesting.
there is a level of like brutal honesty mixed with like callousness and cruelty that, because where is an ethical billionaire ever?
Right.
Does one exist?
Oprah Winfrey?
She keeps her own water and doesn't share.
Oh,
What does that mean?
Dude, there's a water crisis coming. Oprah Winfrey has her own private water. And
Yeah, she's way more important than me.
Wait, her own
We
private
need
water,
you,
like
Oprah.
a reservoir?
in Santa Barbara.
Oh, that's wild.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, boo hiss.
That's just facts. But again, it's like, yeah, again, does an ethical billionaire exist? Probably.
I want to keep trying to name them.
Probably not, because you have all these people working for you and you're not accountable. So I do think that there is a level of honesty, like unbridled honesty, that happens at the very top.
Yeah.
But then there is all this bullshit. Have you ever read a corporate email? It's so coded and it's so passive aggressive, and you never know when it's fucking sucks.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm on a thing right now because I'm on a couple of talkie talk things, and I'm getting the most coded, thirsty bullshit reply alls because instead of BCCing all of us on this, she CC'd us. And so now every time somebody replies all, like they have a new signature with a different link, and it's like, I'd love to attend, but I will be doing the following. And it's a reply all to let everyone know they're too busy and what else they're doing. Like the coded language bullshit of it all. I just delete. I don't read any of it. It's so gross.
Wait, how many people are on this reply all?
Yo, like 30.
No. Did you write back and say, please BCC this list?
I have just stopped responding, and I kind of use it as I laugh. I laugh, and I get to bring it up on a pod, and they know who they are. And if they listen, they know I'm talking about them.
Listen, though, that is like spring cleaning shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, I would be on that so fast and just say like, hi, do you mind BCCing this list and resending? Thank you so much. Like, this is not okay.
I like that move.
That's good honesty, Mary
That's
Jane.
I
Really
have
good
done that.
honesty,
I
yeah.
have done that when I've ended up on a reply all. I've just said like, hey, this is, do you mind just BCCing all of us and starting a new thread? So that we can correspond with you, but I don't need to be in fucking conversation with 30 other people that I don't know about something that is like a trivial matter. No.
Yeah, that happened to me on a game show audition. The producer forgot to BCC and CC to everyone who auditioned.
Yo, no.
And then everyone just started reply alling with their handles.
Yeah, of course.
As a joke, or was it real?
Some of them were real for sure because someone was pushing a short film.
Oh my, on a game.
Yeah.
Damn,
and
y'all.
I was like, this is madness.
Yeah, that's
it's
fucking
the
madness.
wild fucking West.
Don't
That's
forget
bananas.
to BCC, man. That's just like etiquette, email etiquette 101. So important. Spring clean that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Can I talk about Facebook Messenger etiquette? Do you ever check your messages unread folder on Facebook or
I'm
anywhere?
afraid. I'm very afraid.
I occasionally will get, because I have my notifications on. So I got a notification that I had an unread message, and I went to look at it, and you can sort of see what it is without accepting the request. So I read it and chose not to respond. And then someone else who was a friend of that person came into my main DMs and was like, yo, check your unread messages because my friend is trying to get a hold of you. And I was like, that's actually not how this works. Like, if I wanted to get back to your person,
everyone reads their requests. Everyone.
You
it's not like
glance
you're
at them.
unavailable.
Right.
Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I was like, if I haven't responded, it's because either it's like not a good fit for me, or I don't have time right now, or whatever it is. And I will get back to you at some point. Of course, I'm not just going to let you languish in fucking hell. But it was so, like, that popped up, and then someone immediately popped up, and they were like, check your unreads. And I was like, what? It reminded me of the time that I was on Tinder for like a week when I moved to LA, and I was like lonely and scrolling, and I was like, okay, what is this fucking crazy?
Alone scroll.
Never. I will say I never actually met up with anyone, so I don't know what that Tinder landscape is actually like. But I did have the experience of being on Tinder, seeing someone who I knew from the weed world, not like swiping whichever way you swipe for it not to match. And then he texted me and was like, yo, I saw you were on Tinder. Do you want to hook up? And I was like, that's not how this works.
Yo, apply that to your career. Like, don't do it to creep women out. Like,
Proper
use
channels.
Use
the etiquette.
Channels.
Hi.
Yo.
Dude, come on.
Yeah. Hook up?
My trick is if someone messages me without saying hi, I automatically don't respond.
Oh, interesting.
I just delete that message.
Huh.
You're not even going to say hi?
Oh, you would hate if I messaged you sometimes.
But no, that's different. We're friends. I'm talking about outsiders. Like people who, because
I love white space and brevity.
Yeah, what if Mike just made a mistake and like
It's
did
different.
the hi afterwards? Like,
it's different. This is people specifically asking me to check out their shit. Vote for me in this. Blah, 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 blah. It's like the spam messages.
Okay.
You know what I mean? At least lie to me.
I get those on LinkedIn a lot. Where it's just like, love for you to check this out. And I'm like, I don't even know you, and it looks like you live in a foreign country.
wow.
Yeah, so I just
rough.
automatically, if you don't say hi, at least hello.
Hello. I hope this finds you well.
Not even that. Bare minimum. Hi.
Hi.
Yo.
Yep.
Would you take a sup?
Sup.
You take a sup?
I'll take a sup. Because it's at least acknowledging you're starting a conversation with me.
Would you
out of
take
nowhere.
asterisk, head nod, asterisk?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Not just
would you take the
vote for me and the comedy show.
No.
Delete.
Yep. You gotta say hi.
Allie, in these times, my short film has reverence and resonates.
I had someone who had DM'd me and I hadn't gotten back to them and I didn't know them at all and had never met them and had no reason to get back to them quickly. And then they DM'd me as a follow-up and they just wrote 2 words, which were Bueller. And I was like, nah, nope. I don't like that. No, don't do that to people.
And hack.
It is
Yeah.
hack.
People,
It's so hack.
Mad hack.
everyone's having a hard time right now. It
Yeah.
is like COVID plus, like whatever you have going on in your life, plus pandemic, plus just general fucking exhaustion. So if I'm not getting back to you or you're not getting back to anyone, let it all ride, let it all flow.
Absolutely.
Is empathy a part of spring cleaning then? Because
Yes.
we get in. I feel like Allie, you and I are very similar in a lot of ways, and Mary Jane and I check each other on the extremes that we can swing. Where it's like reminding me just now that people are human, I think is an important thing that I really appreciate about you. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Yeah, and on the other side, it's like, what are you doing? Don't get back to them. Just delete that shit.
Right.
And we swing pretty hard. Is there room for empathy in spring cleaning?
Has to be.
Spring empathy is the fucking detergent you use on your floor to
Yeah.
clean your house. It's your magic eraser. It is your broom and dustpan.
Yep. Gratitude and empathy.
Those
They'll
are
make
the
your
2
fucking
tools to-
faucets shine, your windows sparkle.
That's the house I want to live in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
And you know, when I'm like, people are only human, you know I'm talking about me. Like, that is just me trying to make excuses, preemptive all the time for myself, just to be like, everyone fucks up a little. Guess what? I fucked up. But anyway, but you love me, so, and you have to look at me every week. That's all.
Yeah,
I
and
just,
you're allowed to be empathetic and not and still firm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like empathy isn't always like this. It doesn't always have to be this like soft excuse-driven place.
It's bitch shit. What are you talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? It's bitch shit.
What? Empathy is?
For excuses are bitch shit.
That's right.
Excuses. And of course, there are exceptions, right? Like, you have to be open. But for me, it's like, if someone cancels, especially me, if I cancel, I always want to say, hey, I'm so sorry. This was my bad. Let's make it work on your terms another time. I'm like not in a great space right now. And if I have canceled like 3 times, I have to check that behavior. Like, what's going on with me that I can't sustain an appointment that I'm looking forward to? It says so much more about what I'm going through. You know what I mean? And so I try to remember that when people cancel on me. Like, that's where empathy comes into place. Like, I know what it's like to cancel on someone because things are tough and it's genuine. I'm going to give someone the benefit of the doubt and allow them that same grace that I've been given. But when it becomes a pattern, I'm going to be like, yo, are you okay?
That's huge. I mean, Brene Brown famously has just assume that everyone is doing their best all the time, and you will have a much better life. If you just look at everyone around you, whether or not they're fucking up, whether or not you think that, they could be doing something differently. If you just assume that everyone is doing their best all the time, that will put you in a different place to have empathy and consideration for what they're going through. And I think the boundaried, firm empathy, like a good mattress, is like the fucking best way to sleep,
Hell yeah.
I can go to sleep every night on some boundaried, firm empathy.
Yeah, because what happens when it's too soft, right? You're like enveloped in it.
Yeah, you get
like,
lost in that shit.
Get out, like a beanbag chair, my nemesis. Like,
Yeah.
this spineless structure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No beanbag empathy.
Yeah.
Only the Casper mattress style.
And anyone who says I am an empath is not.
Correct. And anyone who calls you a narcissist is a narcissist.
Is a narcissist. Yeah. You can say, I see some narcissistic tendencies here because I've read that this behavior matches this. Are you okay? But you can't be like, she's a narcissist, she's a sociopath, because those are like huge terms.
Yep.
Huge terms, and speak so much more to like what you're projecting onto that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you don't know until you have the conversation. And you never know if someone's lying to your face.
It's crazy.
Don't look at me.
And then we both look at Mike.
Well, what's your deal with empathy?
Sorry. Go on.
3-1. It's very tricky as a dude because I think I have a lot of it naturally, but I go against it as hard as possible at all times. And that is complicated, but it's also because I think if at least coming up, being a guy who is also sensitive and also like wanted to be positive and think the best of people gets you eaten alive. That just straight up gets you eaten alive. Like, you're never going to climb certain ladders that you might want to climb if you don't have courage. You're tough. You say what you mean and you call bullshit out. Like, there's something to those Aaron Sorkin fast talky
But
theater
those don't
plays.
exclude empathy. None of what you just said excludes empathy.
Right. And that's the problem, is that you don't learn that that's all a part of it. All you see is like, oh, I just got to be tough and not let anything affect me. And that's what you miss the mark on, because you're just not developed. I'm just not. I'm saying you, but it's me. But it's like, I'm just like not developed enough to like grasp all the intricacies of it. So it's like, oh, if I'm just like a hard asshole that nothing affects, then that's what I'm emulating, because I see that's what works out in the world.
And being aloof is like the greatest way to self-preserve. Right?
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, don't get to know me, but you'll regret it. Yeah, for sure.
Just know what I'm showing you.
Right. Well, I love that. I think that's important.
Doesn't that wing back around bite you on the ass, though? All of that kind of, self-preservation, aloofness, not
I think
letting
they're
people
really
in.
important tools to have.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow, you guys are terrifying.
But it's like, because
I think that's how the world is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how shit is, whether
There's
you
a
want
way-
it to be or
not
not.
always, not. I mean, I just move through the world very differently, and I think that, like, I think that I love being friends with the two of you, because I think 20 years ago I wouldn't have had the fortitude to be friends with you, honestly, because I would be worried about like doing something wrong and upset. Like, I would just be scared, but like, I have confidence in my own abilities to, be a good friend to both of you now. And that comes with living my own way, which is not being aloof and being very like Barba Papa. Do you know what a Barba Papa is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's a weird Canadian reference, but like being,
Well, what is it? I'd rather learn it than like not
wonder
know.
forever.
Let me explain a weird.
I call you at 3 a.m. Are you gonna say it?
Okay.
You message me, what's Barba Papa? Like, I'm not reading this. You didn't say hi.
Okay, I grew up with the Barbapapas. It might be French, but they were a group of sort of shapeshifters, and they could become anything. So a Barbapapa could become a chair or a pot or whatever, but they were sentient beings. And I feel like I have throughout my life been something of a Barbapapa, like learning how to assume different forms and do different things and work different jobs, from like working on a fucking salmon boat to, you know, writing about cannabis to being a performer to learning how to be, you know, good at something that I never expected to be good at. And so that was because I wanted to please people, but also because that's kind of my nature is to be malleable. And because you are both so strong and set that you would have scared me at one time. And now I'm glad that I'm not scared of you.
Well, it's also like, this is only how I am with people I feel safe with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I cannot fabricate this, which is what holds me up in my stand-up. Mm-hmm. Is because I have to feel good to do good. And if I don't feel good, fuck. And then if I have to fabricate that feeling, if I have to, like, you know, pretend like I'm good, I don't have a good show because I'm not feeling good. And the audience is not my friend.
So how did you decide what to cut out of your life? Because I feel like that's bigger than stand-up.
I have high blood pressure now.
For real?
For real.
Is that serious?
It can lead to like heart disease. It can lead to blood disease. I already have endometriosis, so it's stress on top of stress on top of stress. And it's when it becomes a matter of like life or death, like I hate that it came to that because I really should have figured it out beforehand.
And we missed a joke about high blood pressure. And that's eating.
That's a segment now.
Yeah.
Where I just get stoned and rant about what's pissing me off.
I love that segment.
High blood pressure with Allie Lou.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do this. Let's do this.
I wrote down a list. I wrote down a list of things that are taking my time, and I highlighted the things that brought me actual joy, and I kept the things that I highlighted, and I let go of the things that didn't. Because I find that in the things that I let go of, I was able to retain. Like, I quit my sketch team, for example. Mm-hmm. That was really hard for me to do because it feeds into the narrative of I quit. Because as a dropout, I quit.
What do you mean dropout?
I dropped out of school.
College.
I went to a conservatory, and I left Thanksgiving break and never went back.
Cool.
Because if I continued, I would never sing again. Mm-hmm. And it's hard when you're working as a singer already and you're going to school, the animosity that it's very competitive and it's ugly. And yeah, we were all pitch perfect and it was this beautiful thing, but I was miserable. So I went home and then I found TV. I started working for the affiliates and putting together the commercial breaks and breaking down a broadcast day and watching TV. And I was like, oh, I want to do TV forever. And then Fox found me. And then I was invited here. But then 10 months into my contract, they eliminated my department because Netflix was getting into full swing. Mm-hmm. And they were all moving to video on demand. So I've had to pivot my whole life. And I didn't start an open mic until February 15th, 2016, because I found out the guy who I was sleeping with was a stand-up and was saying what I would say in our conversations on stage.
Yo!
Yeah.
And I didn't find out until I went on Twitter and followed him on Twitter. And then he was like, why do you follow me on Twitter? You're crazy.
Yeah, it's your fault. Get off fucking Twitter.
So I went to West Side Comedy Club the next day, and I did an open mic, and I did one every day for 2 years.
And you just cut out your sketch team for the same feeling reasons?
Yeah, I cut it out because first of all, I loved being on the team. I value what I learned on the team because this was a group of established people at a comedy school who took me, someone who had never gone to a sketch writing class, and saw potential and invited me into a space I would have never been invited to otherwise. Because a lot of people who do sketch know that I'm funny, but don't invite me to these spaces because I'm a competitor. But a lot of the girls on this team are true allies and made this space for me. Like Julia Bartlett, who was one of the girls on the team, she did a sketch that was a parade of Joe Biden impressions. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a mistake that I was on the email, but she included me, like, no questions asked. Like, I don't look like Joe Biden. And she was like, just find a hook. Just find something to so his teeth, right? Like, his teeth are a huge thing. So I just jutted the teeth out. And
he looks crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's already skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's true allyship. That's true diversity. Like, not leaving me out of something because I don't already look like, well, we're all women too. So
Yeah.
we already don't look like Joe Biden.
Right.
And to go from like a stand-up guest on that show to then the next month being invited as a performer, like a guest performer. And then the next month they had me as an official member, and then the pandemic hit. So we only really got to do one real live show together. And so much of sketch is like relying on that instant gratification of an audience, right? Whether it be 5 people or 50, you feel good, you did a show. And it's just not happening right now. So I really forced digital and how much work it is to do a digital show.
Yeah.
I took that work on. And it's fresh energy that was matched by some and not all. And when it became something that I was no longer looking forward to, I knew it was time to go. So I took the steps to like leave gracefully because I didn't want to burn any bridges. I'm so grateful. I learned so much. Curtis Rainsbury was our director, and he taught me so much about sketch writing by just changing like one word. And one day I just realized that I need to do things with friends because this is so much work and we're not getting paid and all my energy is gone. So thank you for your time. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's a real spring clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's so like to do something because you enjoy it. I mean, we made the deal when we started this podcast that if it wasn't fun, we'd walk away from it. And the more we've grown and the more we worked hard to build something, the scarier that gets. But we revisit it all the time.
You have to.
When we were in Port Townsend and it was like September was rolling around, it was sort of like we felt like the winter coming. I remember we went for that beach walk and we shook hands on it. And we were like, let's keep doing this and we gave it another
one more year.
A year.
No bigger promise, but let's give it another year.
Yep, because we knew that it was like some days were going to be really hard to sit down and record when everything around you is darkness and sadness and pain, and like you yourself are experiencing whatever it is that you're going through. And we know that like our job is to like have a great time for the most part on the podcast, but also be real. It just seemed like a big thing to do, but we revisited and shook hands on it because we knew that was important, because we were like, we're in this because we like each other, not because we're like engineering something.
Right. You're not curating this like aesthetic of Weed and Grub, this house of Weed and Grub, you know what I mean? But you are naturally. That's the byproduct of the authenticity you put into your work. You know what I mean? There's this great book called Wired for Love. I will send you my audiobook version of it if you'd like it. Basically that says, you know, you are your person and you have your reality. And Mike is his person, he has his reality. Weed and Grub needs to operate in a third reality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, based on that description, I'll listen. All right.
Weed and Grub reality.
Weed and Grub reality is a third reality.
Yeah.
Because you can't be bringing Mary Jane's shit into Weed and Grub stuff. It has nothing to do with Weed and Grub. But,
I mean, I do, but
it's, you know,
hopefully for a purpose or an effect to talk about something that's real.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But like that is your third reality to preserve and to care for in a mindful way. And to go back and forth from your own reality to the third takes some time to like adjust, but then it becomes like riding a motorcycle. You switch gears and it's fluid and you're able to like sustain the ride.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Damn, because then you can have those little brains for a million people, places, and things.
Yes.
And you can like switch it up based on each. And
Absolutely.
then bring new, like you're a new brain today for you're a new wire.
Yeah.
Damn, Ellie. This
Isn't
is
that
cool.
awesome?
Yeah,
Isn't
it
that
is.
fucking awesome? And
yeah.
it's like,
and it's a time bomb.
Yeah.
And it's going.
and we don't know which one to cut.
We don't know who to cut. I'm all of a sudden I'm out of here.
But I need MacGruber.
I speak coming from the place where I work and play with my partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Boldev makes my shit slap. He has a skill set that I am trying to learn, so I don't rely so heavily on that because I have a little bit more momentum right now. I don't want him to feel like he has to just bear the brunt of my work and then he has no time for his own work, because he is a fucking magical person who deserves to put time and space into his effort.
Yeah.
So it's like with his projects, I will ride shotgun, and with my project, he rides shotgun.
So important.
And then the thing that we do together, we have to do as equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the title of this episode The Bull and the Rainbow Noodle?
I think so. Yeah. 100% yes. On like the fact that you love him so much and everything, should we get to our buds this week?
Yes.
Let's do buds of the week.
Okay.
You know what we're doing, right?
I sure do.
Okay. Who's your bud of the week, Allie?
My bud of the week is Joel's dog, Falcor.
Yes.
Yes.
Shout out at Brother Elephant on Instagram.
Yeah.
And wait, what's Falcor's Instagram?
I think it's just at Falcor, right?
Falcorius?
I think it's Falcorius, the terrier, maybe.
He's a hunk.
He is fucking smooth.
Come on, that dog has 14K already.
Falcorius, Falkorius. He has 14.3K followers.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
At 8 weeks old.
I met him. He's a chick magnet. He is very popular with hikers in Runyon Canyon. He and Archie Moo got along. They were like wing pups. Archie Moo was initially like, he's very not interested in other dogs, but by the end they were kind of running together as like a little shoulder to shoulder through the trails, which I thought was very sweet.
Maybe they're actually crying together like you and I.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Falcor.
Yeah.
He's a
Shout
good
out Falcor.
Well, shit, I want to go next because my butt of the week is my mom and dad's dog, Kate.
Oh.
I wanted to
Kate?
shout out Kate Glazer. Yeah.
Kate Glazer.
Yep. Kate Glazer is 15 years old, and it's a mix of two white dogs. One is long and one is hairy. I don't know what they are, but that's the shape. And Kate's 15 and a great dog who I just wanted to shout out on this episode.
Shout out
Kate.
She has bows in her fur sometimes, right?
Yeah, she has little pink bows in her big, long, white ears. Like, you hold the ears up and they look like bat
Do
wings.
your parents say hello to your sister?
No, they don't pull that bullshit with me because they know I won't play. I don't really play with that. Like, when Heather Matarazzo was on our... was on an episode, she mentioned her dog, and I go, "Oh, what do you call it?" She goes, "You obviously don't have a dog because the word 'it' would never come into your vocabulary about
It's
that little."
she.
Yeah. So yeah, they don't play with that with me. But
Yeah, you should have
we
said
had a dog.
them.
Them.
What do you call them?
Yeah.
I think they all are kind of non-binary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah. So yeah, shout out Kate Glazer, and that's my butt of the week.
Because I clearly can't do a human, I'm going to do Archie and Bobo, who have sustained me throughout this pandemic. Bobo the cat is 1 million years old, and he is a fucking miracle. Like, I adopted him 6 years ago now, and I was told that he was very old at the time and that, you know, he might not make it very long. He has ruled over my life with an iron paw for 6 fucking years now. He bosses Archie. He gets me to do whatever he wants. He's fucking awesome. And then Archie's just my sweet little hairy sun bear. So those are my buds of the week. And they bookend me when I sleep. So they're like 2 little hot fur batteries on either side of me.
Are they charging you, or are you charging them, or is this another thing from Allie's book?
It's a loop, I think, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that your theory?
An infinity loop. I do.
Nice.
I think everyone's down on their own like levels of spiritual rechargery.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're creating some kind of loop that kind of builds everybody back up to morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
I think it's true.
I agree with you. I
And
can feel
warmth because it's been fucking cold.
It's cold and it's
Yeah.
So
dark.
cold,
It's it's like winter has just been, it's so dark and so cold all the time. It's so weird. Maybe it's because I only get out of the house at like 5 o'clock and then it's like getting dark. I'm like, oh, what happened to the day?
That's so funny. Yeah, what the hell?
Why is it dark? Oh, it's night? Oh.
I stayed up till 6. I went to bed until 3. I had coffee. Next thing I know, it's night again. I don't know what's going on.
Fuck. What happens every day?
so funny.
Yeah, it does.
Mary Jane
Happens
gets one of
every
these
day.
journals, and instead of color coding it, it's just black pencil, like some kind of omen child who's been keeping
Night
track.
again.
Just the Babadook. She's just drawing the Babadook over and over again. Like, why do you have so many broken crayons?
Endless darkness.
Look, things are going good.
Well, what time did you get up? 6:55 p.m.
Oh yeah, I like that you held the. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to plug your shit? What do you even plug
what am
now?
I
Oh, your
doing?
TikTok's blowing up.
Yeah, shout out to everyone on TikTok who's been so fucking kind to me. And while I figure all this out, you can find me at extra large petite,
Is it EX or X?
EX,
Okay.
extra large petite spelled out. And yeah, catch Trash Talking. That's on YouTube. We have a 420 episode coming up. You might recognize some familiar faces. And I'm very excited about Trash Talking. It is my fake daytime talk show on the internet that I put all of my money into for 5 views. So
It's awesome.
thank you.
It is.
Fucking greatest. It's very funny.
I want to make TV. And this is going to get me closer to making TV. So
Yes, it is.
I want to make TV, and I want to put people who I want to put into it and write for them, write for you, write with you. Enough of this shit, you know?
Fucking right. I'll be on your screen.
Hell yeah.
Count
We're
me in.
shooting 4K, so
Okay.
I will also be on your screen.
yes.
Just casting myself in your project.
You are in my projects, you guys. I honestly, but if you take anything away from this, fucking just go make shit with friends.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, spring clean the cobwebs and the things you don't need out of the corners. Grow with friends and good people in your life. And be good to yourself.
Yeah.
Be kind to yourself.
It's okay to let go of things that no longer serve you, and that doesn't have to be in a transactional kind of way. You know, it's like, is it depleting you of joy, or is it, you know, reinvigorating you? And even if it's hard, do you still love it? Because that's a question, because this shit gets hard.
Life is hard.
Yeah.
Damn. If anybody just fast forwarded to the last 2 minutes of this, they're going to be like, they're brilliant. They're so good.
Life is hard.
Life is
Cool.
hard.
That's where we got with weed and grub this week, everyone.
Really figuring out life's mysteries.
Weed and grub. Life is hard. Oh, man. This has been so great. Thank you so much for coming for our very first ever all-time whole ep 3-person dealio. Everybody follow us at Weed and Grub on Instagram. Email us at wg@weedandgrub.com. And if you can, please take a second and give us a 5-star review and write us a review on iTunes, because it really does make a huge difference in our visibility and popping up in people's feeds and more people learning about us.
And we will be a part of South by Southwest March 16th through March 21st. So if you are interested in checking out our episode about how art and entertainment is crucial in destigmatizing cannabis, or any of the other incredible speakers like Stacey Abrams, and then watch us. We're going to be at South by March 16th through March 21st.
Yep.
Anything
So
else?
excited. I think that's it.
All right.
This has been so fucking fun.
I feel filled up.
I feel filled up and cleaned out.
Yeah, nice.
Right?
Gross.
Well...